interaction with my class, in my class. So one by one, we have Ben Fong, right? Am I right? Ben
Yes,
Fong.
Venerable.
Yeah, yes. So where are you from?
I am from Toronto, Canada.
Wow, Toronto.
Yes.
Okay, nice to see you. And then
Good evening, all.
Dean, yeah, Dean, right?
Yep.
Wow.
I live in the Chicago area. I live near the Naperville temple here.
Ah, okay. Nice to see you. And then Chai So.
Hi, Sifu Amitofo. I'm from Montreal, Canada.
Wow, I haven't been in Montreal.
You are most welcome to come visit us.
Yeah, one day. I'd like to visit Venerable Juezao, right? Am I right? Montreal?
No, Montreal is
Montreal is
Venerable Ruzhong and
Ru
Ruzhong. Yes, and Venerable
Ruzhong
Ru Guang.
Ru Guang.
And
Okay.
our abbess is Venerable Jue Fan. Aina
see.
can attest to it, Aina.
I think I have been in Montreal. Yeah.
Were you here
Started-
for the BLIA?
Right.
Yes.
Right. Then I have been there.
Yes.
It's a beautiful place.
Thank you.
Okay. And then we have Chui Lei. Chui, how do you pronounce the name? Chui Lei. And then
Hello.
hi.
It's pronounced Tui.
Tui. Okay.
I'm from Los Angeles.
Ah, nice to meet you. And then we have from New York, that's Helen Liang.
Yes, Helen.
Right?
Oh, there she is.
Ah, okay. And then we have, try to figure out. And then Lisa Moore from Florida.
Yes. Jixiang.
Jixiang. Wow, your Chinese is very good. Aina, I will skip you.
I'm from the same place as Aina.
Okay. And then Casey there, right?
Hi, Sifu. I'm from San Francisco.
San Francisco. Wow. I haven't been there for a long, long time.
Oh.
we have Greg. Greg, hi.
Hello, Sifu.
Hi. And you are from where?
I'm coming from Toronto.
Toronto. So like Ben, right? Okay. And then we have Ki Hang Joe.
Hi, Venerable. I was from San Francisco, but now I'm in Toronto.
In Toronto. Okay.
Toronto.
Wow.
A lot of Canadians.
Right. Yeah. Okay. I think it's about time to start the class. Okay. Last time we covered chapter 1, and chapter 1 is mainly about the life story of the sixth patriarch, Master Huineng. Okay? And then started from chapter 2, we are going to come to what we call more doctrinal teaching, right, in the Platform Sutra. And so last week, I think I talked too much. So this week I try to change the style a little bit, that while I'm talking, and then I will ask you questions, and then anytime that you are most welcome to respond to the question, or if you have any question, just stop me. Okay. And let me share. Okay. I think I need to. Just a second. Okay. Can you see the screen?
No.
Okay. So the topic is pragya, and this is the way I pronounce it, pragya. And sometimes it's pronounced as panya, and that's more like a Pali pronunciation. Sanskrit is pragya, and some people pronounce that as prajna, and I prefer to pronounce it as pragya. And in Chinese, that's bore. And in Cantonese, what is that in Cantonese?
Boyo.
Bore, okay. And then sometimes in Taiwanese, say for example, the Heart Sutra, Bore Boro Mi Do Xin Jing, and the Taiwanese people will pronounce it as Puat Tse Boro Bore Boro Mi Do Xin Jing. Okay, then pragya is pronounced as Puat Tse, and that's closer to it's a Sanskrit pronunciation, pragya. Okay. Anyway, whatsoever. Yes.
We can't see your PowerPoint.
You cannot see my PowerPoint. Okay. Let me see. How do I do that? Okay.
Yes, thank you.
Now we see it.
Okay. Now, so first of all, people sometimes ask the question, who is the mother of Shakyamuni Buddha? And then automatically we will reply what? Queen Maya, of course. Okay. but yeah, if you are talking about the spiritual life, then I think the answer should be the wisdom, pragya, right? So we have two kinds of life. One is this physical life, and we're given the birth by our parents, right? But after we started to learn Buddhism, then we said that, oh, we start a new life, okay? And that new life is the life of wisdom. And that's why here it says that the Buddha's mother, okay? You can say that Queen Maya, but here, okay, it's the answer is pragya. And so if I ask Aina, so if I ask who is the mother of Aina, so Aina may give me two answers, right? One is your mother's name, and then the other is pragya, or wisdom. Okay. So talking about pragya and our mother, okay, the mother of our spiritual life, then I guess many of you have come across the question, especially when you do sitting meditation, then the meditation teacher is asking you, what is your original face as a koan or huatou that for you to meditate, to contemplate upon. And sometimes this question is put in another, you can rephrase it as, what is your true face before you were born, right? And so what did you do in the meditation room when you are given such a koan to a huatou to meditate on? So so from which direction are we going to explore or to meditate on? Right? Did you try to seek your original face before you were born? What's your approach, your method in meditating on this question? What is your original face? Okay. Yeah. Anyone have some quick answers? No? You can unmute yourself.
Is that a Buddha self?
It's a Buddha self. Okay, you are seeking your original face. Okay, and that face is your Buddha self. Okay, or what do you? Maybe you want to say Buddha nature. Okay, so the term is used as face. Okay, but actually, what is the question? Okay, what is our original face? Okay, when we heard about this question, we immediately think about this face, right? That you have eyes, ears, nose, okay? But the question here, the term original face, is just using the term that we are familiar with and which want to lead us to see who you really are, okay? So it's not a question of meditating on what's the face before we were born to the world. It's a question to see who are you, okay? And then you meditate on yourself. Is who am I, okay? What is the real face of I, okay? Instead of that the face you see from a mirror. Okay. So in the book, it talks about pragya. Now I purposely here, I don't use the term wisdom because wisdom really cannot really explain what pragya is, okay, in Sanskrit or in Pali. So there are three types of pragya. The first one is the pragya of language, meaning that from the text we read in a sutra, for example, Heart Sutra or Diamond Sutra, we come across the term pragya, and it's the language that we read and which will help us understand what pragya is. So the pragya of language is a tool, okay, that help us to understand pragya. And the second type of pragya is the pragya of contemplation, meaning that it is through contemplation that it may lead us to understand what the meaning of pragya is. Okay? And mainly we contemplate on sunyata, okay? Emptiness, okay? And that will help us to understand pragya. The third one is the pragya through true reality, okay? And that is the most difficult one. However, it is the real pragya that we need to understand. So there are three types of pragya, and I would say that I'm still in the first type of pragya, the pragya of language. Okay, I'm trying to learn how to use the tool. Okay, so there is a story in the book, and it's a koan story about where is pragya. So it's a dialogue between the disciple and the master. So the disciple asks, where is pragya? It seems that pragya is something tangible, visible, that you can find where it is located, right? So disciple asks, where is pragya? I want to find pragya. And master says, it's right before your eyes, meaning that it's right in front of you. And disciple asks, why do I not see it? And master says, you have the notion of an eye, so this is why you don't see. And the master, the disciple says, so Master, since you say that that you know that I cannot see that, so probably I guess you have seen that pragya. So the disciple asks, do you see that? And Master says, the notion of you on top of the notion of I makes it even harder for you to see. So the disciple replied, so without you and without me, can the way be seen? Okay. And then the Master says that without you and without me, who will see the way? Okay, so it's a koan story. Anyone? Let's meditate on this koan story. Okay, so what is the problem of the disciple? Okay, from the question he asked. Okay, anyone want to try to decipher the riddle of the koan story? Okay, so
he has too much I involved, and he sees separation between himself and the teacher and everything else.
Oh, okay. So then the way is involved in here. So what is the way? What is the way?
The way is sunyata.
Okay. Yes, and the way can also be the Noble Eightfold Path, right? Yeah. Okay, that's the way. Okay, and of course, that sunyata is on the way to Buddhahood. We try to see that sunyata, right, in the world. Okay, so the disciples has that kind of problem. So we as Buddhist students, we also have that kind of problem, right? From the beginning of the class up to here, I haven't tell you what is pragya, right? I just keep on saying that, oh, there are 3 kinds of pragya. And then pragya is our mom, okay? And then I still haven't told you what is pragya. So what's the problem of me as a teacher? Not telling you what is pragya, but beat around the bush and then saying that, oh, if you have the notion of I, then you cannot see pragya. Okay? So who can answer if, okay, the disciple says that where is pragya? And Master replied, pragya is right before your eyes. What does that mean?
It means it is everything. It is the experience of being.
So here the eyes, okay, it doesn't just refer to our naked eyes. Okay, so in Buddhism, to see or the eyes, it can refer to what? To our spiritual eye, our Dharma eyes, our wisdom eyes, right? Okay, so not necessary that something in front of your naked eyes. Okay, can I say it's right behind your eyes?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. That's what I'm going to say. Okay, now, so any questions so far? Okay, guess no question. Okay, so it continues to talk about dependent origination and, sorry, my typo, and emptiness. Okay, and then here it is in the book, it sort of describes what is dependent origination and what is emptiness. And then there's a concept that we oftentimes talk about the law of cause and effect. But what is missing, and which is also very important, is in between cause and effect. What is very important between that? Anyone?
Conditions.
The right condition.
The conditions, okay? So if you have the cause, but without conditions, that result cannot be arisen. So the phenomena arise due to conditions. And that's why many times Venerable Master Xing Yun says that before you can attain your enlightenment, you have to establish good affinities with others. And the reason behind it is to create more good conditions, okay? So that those good conditions will help you, okay, in getting the result you want. Okay, so now comes a very difficult concept in this Platform Sutra, which is many come from one, okay? And then existence relies on emptiness, and Buddhas come from human beings, okay? So many come from one. How would that be? How could that come to be? Okay? Many comes from one. You can have examples. Anyone who would like to
come
try?
from many. Because one come from many. Because in the book it says one seed can give you many fruit. So
Yes.
many come from one and one come from many.
Well, it's a two-way road, right? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Guess that's no problem for most of you. And existence relies on emptiness. How's that possible? Anyone would like to try?
I'll try.
Okay.
Our breathing system needs to be empty. Your nostrils be empty for you to breathe. And your homes need to have some emptiness for you to exist within your home.
Okay, very good. Okay, so existence and emptiness, actually they are existing at the same time, right? Okay, in your existence, I can see the emptiness there, and then vice versa. And Buddhas come from human beings. Do you have any question about that? When you take refuge ceremony, okay, did you say I'm the Buddha? Did you say that? Mm-hmm. Yes, okay. Did you say that with confidence? Mm-hmm. Yes, okay. Yeah, yes and no, okay. Okay, maybe you can say I'm a Buddha to be, okay. Yes. Okay, be more humble. Okay, many come from one, okay. So here in the book, it gives an example that when you give charity in helping others and then educating young people, then that is an example of many come from one. So what is that one? Okay, that one is what? Anyone would like to try? Okay. How did you see that in, well, this is from the book, right? Many come from one, and it can be done through giving charity and educating young people, okay?
So when we give charity to, it's one action of kindness, right? It's one action of kindness, but this single action of kindness can influence many people.
Right, right. And then so that one can be your kindness, right? And that can be your pragya, okay? So it's a principle. Okay? It's based on that principle, then you developed that, and then you put that into your action. Okay, so what kind of good conditions can we create for others in order to have many good results? Okay, one that can create many good results. Any example in your daily life or in your Bria chapter? Okay. For example, let me start first. For example, Aina teach an English Buddhism class, and she has many students. Okay. And then those students continue to develop their wisdom in understanding the Buddha's teaching, and then they further teaches in the Buddhism classes. Okay, so you have many Buddhism classes, and you have many more students. Okay, so yeah, yes.
You know, what I was thinking too is that the teacher is also the many as well as the one. And that's the reciprocity in the learning process. That
right.
You know, when we're teachers, we are learners, because even by virtue of the questions that cause us to think more deeply or go back to the books to find the answer, creates an opportunity for us to learn too, and it just all then intertwines, folds together.
You know, that's why I like to teach this class, because you are all my teachers, and then I can learn from you to dig deeper into the Platform Sutra. Right? I have taught this sutra many years ago in Hong Kong. And then every time I teach this Platform Sutra, I always have new understandings about the meaning in it. Okay, and then here it says that Buddhas are simply awakened sentient beings, and sentient beings are only Buddhas who have not yet awakened. So I bold two key words: Buddhas and sentient beings. Okay, so like in the picture, okay, we see the Buddha statue, Buddhas, and then we person seeing the picture, okay, we are sentient beings, not yet awakened. It seems that we are different, but actually we share something in common. Okay, and what is that something in common? Okay, so how did you see someone as an unawakened Buddha?
A dead chicken.
And then my question for you, will you choose to wake that person, okay, wake him up or wake her up? Or, okay, since that person is an unawakened Buddha, so will you just simply leave her alone or leave him alone? So we are unawakened sentient beings, right? So what will you do? Leave him alone.
You would see the Buddha nature in everyone. So you don't define someone as an unawakened Buddha. You just treat them as a Buddha.
Right. Okay. Very good. So the moment you see that sentient beings, okay, at the same time you see the Buddha nature in the sentient beings. Okay. So if you look at that person from the perspective of the Buddha, okay, and that being is a Buddha already. Okay, and because we are not awakened, we are ordinary sentient beings, so we see that person as awakened beings. Okay. So at the same time, when you take refuge ceremony, when you claim that I am a Buddha, meaning that at the same time, you see all the people around you as Buddhas. Okay, yeah, Dean, I like your answer. Very good. Okay, so then the book talks about Buddha nature. Now, Buddha nature is a very special topic that in original Buddhism, or Buddhism in India, in Shakyamuni Buddha's time, we don't come across that term Buddha nature. Okay, and it's a term that comes to be after the Buddha entered Nirvana. And we Buddhist students, we question. So Shakyamuni Buddha has entered Nirvana. So where can I find a substitute, a replacement of the Buddha? Okay, and if you cannot give me a firm answer, yes, then I will feel lost because I cannot find my role model in my daily life experience. And then so the Buddhist thinkers or philosophers, they start to contemplate on this and then come up with the term Buddha nature. Okay? And instead of saying human nature, it says Buddha nature. Okay? So what's the difference between the human nature and the Buddha nature? So we say that the human nature is full of ignorance, greed, and hatred, the so-called three poisons. Okay, but here in the Platform Sutra, it says the nature of the Buddha and that of the sentient beings are not different, right? That we have discussed. And then it is only because of ignorance and affliction that makes the difference. So now we understand it's because of our ignorance and our affliction that we don't see our Buddha nature. And actually, the Buddha nature is there in us as a human being. So the next question is, so how am I going to transform my human nature into Buddha nature? Okay. Do you want to take a guess? How are we going to change that? Okay, use the term human nature and Buddha nature. Yes?
Through cultivation?
Yes, good. And how do you cultivate?
Diligently follows the Buddha's teaching and the Dharma.
Okay. So you diligently follow the Buddha's teaching, okay? Meaning that you are not only studying the Buddha's teaching, right? You apply that in your daily life.
Correct. You have to put it into practice in your life, yes.
Okay, good. Okay. So that's a topic we're going to dig deeper in that in our following chapters. So here, let's continue to talk about the concept of all and one, okay? And it says all phenomena and one, okay? All phenomena return to one. And where does the one return to? So all, okay, many and one, we say that many are one and one is many, right? We have talked about that. So here you just replace that many as all phenomena, right? and all phenomena will return to one. And then one return to what? Hello?
Returns
Hello?
to many.
Yeah.
Good answer. So here with the most popular metaphor that we use is mustard seeds and Mount Sumeru. Mount Sumeru, very tall, very high, very huge, and mustard seed, very small. And it says all forms is one, and that one can refers to essence, right? And one is the universe, all phenomena, okay? One is all, meaning many worlds, okay? Universe is the combination of many worlds, right? Okay, so the theory is that, but we may ask, so how are we going to apply this in our daily life, okay? Or is one. So can we see all forms is one? And what is that one essence, okay? What is the essence in all forms? Anyone would like to try?
Impermanence.
Impermanence, good. Okay, that's one answer. Any other? Brave, try.
It's emptiness.
Emptiness, okay, good. That's another.
I think in science, it's all atoms, right? That's what everything is atoms.
Okay, I'm afraid of touching anything scientific. Okay, stop from there. Mustard seeds and Mount Sumeru, okay, that metaphor tells you how a lot of many small mustard seeds, okay, that can also equal to that Mount Sumeru, not very huge, big, high mountain, okay? And it gives example of the nature of pineapple, okay? Okay, you guys from Florida, can you explain? I know you want to try.
Yeah, I really liked this. In fact, I highlighted something about the, of course I can't find it now, but what it reminds you of is the oneness and the non-duality, that in the sourness is the eventual sweet. And then I think about the sweet gone too long then becomes rot, which then becomes just like the lotus, that no mud, no lotus, that you sense the ongoing evolution of things, and that when we begin to try to separate things out, we miss the boat.
Right.
And so I really liked this, and it reminded me one time when Venerable Jim Yao was doing a meditation class. She had people suck on a candy that in the beginning tastes sour and then becomes sweet, or vice versa. I can't remember. And she was asking, is your candy sour or sweet? Well, it depends upon the evolution of that candy, which
Wow.
helps you understand the permanence of things.
Candy has that evolution, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now here is sourness and sweetness. Now we can replace that as Buddha nature and human nature, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. So the nature of a human being, okay, it includes the Buddha nature and the human nature, okay? And then, so if I put Bodhi and affliction in there, right? So human nature is full of afflictions, right? And then Buddha nature, if you transform your human nature, then you will see your Bodhi. And then that is how I see Bodhi is affliction, right? And then it says in Venerable Master Xing Yun says that our life is full of worries, burdens, sorrows, very painful feelings. Right? And he says that that is the element that will lead you to Bodhi and enlightenment. Okay, isn't that very true? Okay, we adults, after experiencing so many things happening in our life, and then after you come of age, you become more mature in dealing your daily life. After you got married, you have to deal more complicated human relationships. Okay. And then I will tell you, as a monastic, we go through similar way. We renounce the household life, and then we join the big family, very, very big family. Okay. And then it's from dealing with different monastic Dharma brothers and Dharma sisters. Then it helps us to develop our wisdom in solving problems. Okay? And then while we are solving our life problems, and we discover what we call pragya there. Okay. So far, up to now, I still haven't told you what is pragya. I said that we will discover the pragya in us. Okay, so the example that Venerable Master Xing Yun gave us is about a mother. Okay, now this mother has to learn her life experience, okay, to gain more wisdom. Now she has 2 daughters and 1 elder daughter married to an umbrella salesman, and the younger daughter married to a noodle vendor. So on sunny days, the mother cry for the younger daughter because cry for the elder daughter because sunny day nobody will buy the umbrella, and rainy day she will cry for the noodle, the younger daughter who married to a noodle vendor, because in rainy days the noodles won't get dry, and then that they cannot do business. Okay, and so a monk helped this mother to solve her problem. Now, who still remember the story? Who can play the role of the monk, okay, to give advice to this crying mother? Yeah. Who would like to try?
I would like to.
Okay.
Yeah, the monk advised the mother to change your perspective of life. You know, instead of crying all the time, be sad all the time, why don't you be happy and smile? For example, when it's raining, you just smile because your daughter who is married to the umbrella salesman will have the business. And then when it's a sunny day, you smile because your daughter who is married to the noodle vendor will get the business. So it's a win-win situation.
Wow. Okay. It's a win-win situation. Very good. So you have, I think you are a smiling mother now. Okay. So it talks about change our perspective. So how do we change our perspective in our daily life? Can you do that? Okay. You know, I start first from myself. I taught Buddhism class in the Buddhist college in Fo Guang Shan. And then, you know, the students, whether they are monastic or lay students, they are very naughty in their 20s. And so oftentimes I didn't know how to take care of this class of students. And so I went to my master and asking for advice. And, you know, I have headaches. It's because all I see from my students are their shortcomings, okay? And then my master is very, very excellent in picking up their merits, okay? If that student is very tall, and then my master says to that student, he will say that, okay, now you are very tall, you can be a very good receptionist after you graduate from the Buddhist college. Okay, so the height can be someone's merit that I haven't thought of. Okay, so now this is the change of your perspective so that you can look at people, look at things differently. Okay, anyone who have good examples of changing your perspective in daily life?
If we look at everything as being transitory or impermanent, we can also see that anything that's bad is happening to us will eventually turn into something that's good. So it's best to just walk on the middle way and see everything as balanced.
Okay, so meaning that we don't see one extreme, okay? So we see things in the middle way. Aina?
Yes.
Yes.
Well, a lot of times I'm thinking of the teaching, and sometimes we then practice thinking that we are right and they are wrong, that they are the deficit, instead of seeing that it goes to skillful means. How can we best help them learn, as opposed to how can we teach? Because if I'm thinking of teaching and they're not paying attention, then I see them as not paying attention, instead of seeing that this is a flow. And I have to back up a little bit and not see them as naughty, as maybe even as naughty as they're being.
I remember one teacher told me, because I'm asking when I was still very new in this teaching career. And then that teacher told me that teaching is an art. It's like a dancing tango. Yes. So sometimes you teach your students, sometimes it's your students teaching you. And then when your students are teaching you, you back up, you backward. And then when you teach them, you move forward. So it's like a dancing tango. Yeah. Okay. And the next topic in this chapter talks about 3 poisons, which we are familiar with. That 3 poisons are greed, anger, and ignorance. So what causes our greed, excessive desires? It's the present feeling about something or about someone, okay? And then unpleasant feeling would cause anger, and you're confused about things happening around you that would end up in ignorance, okay? And then they are antidote to the 3 poisons, which is discipline to your greed, and meditative concentration to your anger, and wisdom to your ignorance. Okay, so this is basically the teaching of the 3 poisons. Okay. Anyone would like to try? Why name these 3 things as poisons? Okay, what would the greed, anger, ignorance poison something, A, poison, B. So what is that B object? Okay, poison what? Anyone would like to try?
Do they poison our Buddha nature, our clear thinking?
Okay, good.
The book also talked about that the poisons also takes away all your merits. It burns the merits that you have earned. So if you've done good deeds, you had good thoughts, but all of a sudden you allow the anger or greed to interfere, it destroys all the good you've done.
Sorry. Okay, so it burns our merit. Okay, and a lot of times we think that we have accumulated a lot of merits because we have been Buddhist for so many years. And then we wonder why we haven't seen that, the goal, okay? And I think probably it's because we have burned a lot, okay? We accumulated a lot of merits, and then at the same time, we burned a lot. And it's because of these three poisons, okay? And in this chapter, it talks about black winds, okay? Anyone remember the black wind? Okay, it is mentioned in the universal chapter of the Lotus Sutra about that if you got blown by the quote unquote black winds, and if you recite Guan Yin Bodhisattva's name, and Guan Yin Bodhisattva will come and rescue you, okay, save your life. So do you remember what is black wind? Okay. What is regarded as black? Wind has color. Okay. And then when the wind comes, did you see that? Can you see that? Okay. In Chinese, it's 黑风. Okay. What are the black winds? Okay. Have you ever come across any black winds? Okay. In a book, it mentioned about a eunuch, very famous one, right? Yu Chaoen. And then it says, what is the eunuch? And then the one who answered that question is, give him an example of a person like you. How come you are here? Okay, I remember that is the dialogue. Did you remember that?
Page 58.
58, okay. Okay, got it. Okay.
In the line that dark wind blows the ship to the land of demons, what is called the dark wind.
Right. And then the master answered the eunuch's question. He says that you are just a eunuch. Why would someone like you even care? Okay, even care. What is the dark wind? So it's because upon hearing that, okay, the person
so angry.
Yeah, the person who asked, right. The eunuch got so angry, and that anger is the black wind, right? Okay.
Yes.
So did you see black wind in your daily life when they come across? In your daily life, did you experience black wind? Okay.
Yes.
That burns a lot of merits you. You have accumulated for so many years. Okay. And then can you stop the black wind from blowing off? Or you just let it come? Usually what happened? Did you have any?
Before you would let it kind of just take you away, but now learning to understand the Dharma ways, if you follow the practices the way we need to, we can avoid the black wind from coming, is what I've understood from the chapter.
Right. So learning Buddhism is very, very important. Okay. So you recite the Heart Sutra. You say form is emptiness, emptiness is form. Okay. And then so when you hear anyone who says something bad about you, you say the sound is emptiness. And then you can just blow away the black winds. Okay. And then another topic, it talks about the mind of the past, present, and future. Okay. Now, the mind of the past, okay, is already gone. So we cannot get hold of the mind of the past. And the mind of the present, it continues moment by moment. So we cannot get hold of that either. And then the mind of the future, it's not yet arisen. So how can we get hold of that? And so therefore, it says that we cannot attain the mind of the past, the mind of the present, and the mind of the future. So since we cannot get hold of the mind in the past, in the present, and in the future, so what should we do? What should we do? Are you afraid? Are you afraid you cannot get hold of your mind? You are not afraid, right? You smile. Okay, meaning that after you learn Buddhism, you are not afraid of that because we know that everything is impermanent. Okay, you accept that. Okay, you are prepared. Okay, so therefore, it's because of that. So the mind does not have an abode, a place that it stays there because it's a flow, it keep on changing, right? And then so there is a very interesting story here. It says the disciple Wen Yan, okay, he was about to cross a threshold to enter a room, okay, and then carelessly the foot got stuck. Well, I shouldn't say carelessly because his master purposely closed the door so one of his feet got stuck inside. So now can you imagine 1 foot outside and 1 foot inside? So ouch, he says. And then, so the master, okay, this is a very naughty master. So there's a dialogue between these two. Okay, so the disciple says, "Oh my goodness, my master, my 1 foot is inside." Okay, so the master says, "Then where are you?" Okay, and then the disciple says that I'm here, meaning that at the other side. So 1 foot on one side and the other foot on the other side. So the master asks, "Where are you?" Who remember the answer? Where are you? I am outside, right? Right? Okay. And then, okay, he wants to teach us, okay? What does he want to teach us, okay? There's the, when the master, okay, asking the question, where are you, okay? And then the student thought to himself, okay, I'm here, but how come I feel the pain out there? So where am I, right? So what is here and what is there? Did you learn the the teaching, the lesson in the story, the worldly dualities of within and without. Okay, so talking about our Buddha nature, okay, sometimes we call that as the intrinsic nature, and that is a term that we should get familiar with in this book. Okay, that sometimes it talks about the Buddha nature, sometimes it talks about the intrinsic nature. The intrinsic nature has no in or out. Okay, so meaning that we have to take out the duality of things. Okay, and also another terms that we come across in this book is good Dharma friends. So when the sixth patriarch Huineng, Master Huineng, before he speaks, he often says good Dharma friends. And please do not belittle this term, good Dharma friends. Okay, and first of all, we will want to know what are the qualifications of good Dharma friends. They are compassion, wisdom, and then they are inclination to teach. Okay, very important. You're very willing to teach. Then you are good Dharma friends. And then you use metaphors such as a vast field, a tall mountain, a nanny who take care of the baby, a doctor who help to heal the illness of the patient, or a brave general, okay, to fend off the enemies, and a sea captain to navigate, to give the direction as a guide. Okay, so good Dharma friends, very important on the way to your journey to your enlightenment, to get fully enlightenment. It's very important to have good Dharma friends. Okay, and so I would take the class, okay, all of you as my good Dharma friends, okay, because you are full of compassion to attend my class. Okay, and then each one of you in answering the questions, okay, and then you are sharing your wisdom with the class, okay, and then for me, you are teaching me a lot, okay. So we may ask, what kind of good Dharma friends do I have, okay? Because it's very important, we need company, okay, to accompany us to our full enlightenment one day in future. And then at the same time, we also ask, what kind of good Dharma friends am I, okay? So it's mutual. If you want to have good Dharma friends around you, and at the same time, we should be a good Dharma friend to others, okay? So this is mutual, not just asking others to be our good Dharma friends, okay? So, and final part of this chapter, Venerable Master Xing Yun list 10 items of non-thought, okay? So what are non-thought? He says that thought has this distinction and non-thought has no distinction. But he says that distinctions can often be brought together, okay? So let's see, there are 10 pairs of duality, dual thoughts. For example, sudden and gradual, delusion and awakening, ignorance and wisdom, good and bad, purity and defilement, self and others, Buddha and Mara. I like this topic very much. Gossip and truth, love and hate, mundane and supra-mundane, okay? So according to Venerable Master Xing Yun, he says that the dual concept actually can be brought together, no distinction. And what is that? So here in this book, Venerable Master Xing Yun gave us a very interesting story about the teacher and students, okay? And they are having a game that saying that if anyone who can say something the most degrading existence in the world, and that person will win the game. So it starts from the teacher. He says that I'm a donkey, and the student says I'm the donkey's behind. The teacher says I am the dung inside, and the student says that I am the maggot in the dung. Oh, yeah. And then the teacher says, the teacher cannot think of anything lower, more degrading, okay, existence in that. So the teacher asks, so what are you doing there? And the student says that, oh, I'm cooling off from the summer heat. I don't know how to describe that kind of state of mind, right? All I can do is giving you the picture of that something there, smile. So what is the teaching here? Anyone? Anyone who would like to try? This is the last story today. So anyone who want to try, how did you see the purity and the impurity in this story? Ben, you want to try?
It's hard to distinguish, but it's more or less trying to remove your prejudice against yourself and others, but just try to be free from your status, so that you can have a more letting go ways of living.
Right. Okay. So you let go of your prejudice about something is clean, pure, okay, and even in the middle of that very smelly dung, right? that maggot still is cooling off, has that kind of mind, okay, that is very cool, okay, even in the summer heat, okay. So in our daily life, okay, say today I'm very busy actually, because the Qingming, okay, the very big Dharma service is coming on this coming Sunday, the water repentance Dharma service. So I was preparing all the decorations, all the setup in the main shrine. But on the other hand, I have to prepare for the class. And then at the same time, okay, I have to prepare the report for the headquarters, monthly report, a lot of things going on. I don't know how to deal with that. And then when I read the story, prepare the story today, okay, I said that, okay, now I have to cool off from my summer heat now. So change the mindset that your life is different, right? Even in a very tight schedule, still you can take a break, time's out, okay? Enjoy the moment right here and now, right? Otherwise, all you think about is, oh, I have very tight schedule and I cannot smile. You know, Pei-Ping, now I want to pray that smiling old lady. Whichever things that happen in my daily life, I have to look on the bright side, positive side of that. Okay, and that is what my master talked about. That the two extremes, okay? The purity and defilement, actually, we can bring them together, okay? They are one, okay? So in a very tight schedule, you can find your leisure time in there. I tell you the secret, I tell you the truth, today I have more than 3 cups of coffee. I enjoy my life. So the final thing that at this chapter is, it says that we should do mundane work with supramundane thinking, right? So bringing that human beings, sentient beings, the ordinary sentient beings and the Buddha, okay? The Buddha is the awakened sentient beings, and sentient beings is an unawakened Buddha, okay? So since we are unawakened Buddha, so we should do mundane work in this Saha world. But since we have that Buddha inside, the little Buddha inside, so we should have that Buddha thinking, the supramundane thinking, okay? And then this is the point, a quote from a poem, okay? The Tao Yuanming is a very famous Chinese poet, and he wrote, I make my house in this human world. Ooh, sorry, I don't know how to get that back. Okay, the last sentence is, I live in this very human world, okay? But in my world, I don't have that noise of the horses, okay, of the vehicles around me, meaning that he has a very serene mind, that even living in a noisy human world. And then I guess that is what we can learn from this chapter, that there is non-duality in this world. The distinction, it comes from our human mundane thinking, okay? And if you want to get pragya, okay, you have to find a definition of your own pragya. If you want to obtain your pragya, then you have to get rid of your the distinctions of all the phenomena in the world. Okay, that's my teaching today. We are running out of time. Can you follow the teaching today? Okay. Thank you. So next time we are going to continue the 3rd chapter. The 2nd chapter, Pragya, is regarded as the most important teaching in the Platform Sutra, right? And we have covered the most important teaching. So the rest of the class will be very easy. So I hope it won't scare you away. Please come back to the class next week. Okay, and then read the chapter 3 before the class. Okay, so I'll say good night to everyone.
Good night.
Good night.